Hey everyone. Now, if you're a dispatcher, you done heard it. Do you have dedicated freight? Yes, I'm an owner operator and I want some dedicated freight. I have just one truck, but I need some dedicated freight. I'm tired of it. Okay, I didn't have enough drivers that ask me, do you have dedicated freight? Dedicated freight is very good. But let me tell you this. If you have dedicated freight and that shipper is depending on you to come pick up that freight, freight. If they are depending on you to pick up their freight and your truck break down and they need that freight moved, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go out and get somebody else, and that person may just replace you. And then that shipper don't catch them on a bad day because they may just blacklist you. So if you're in a position to say, Destiny, I want a dedicated lane, what advice would you give me? I would say start small. Look into shippers that do not require you to be there every single day. And they have some flexibility. Ask them, if something was to happen, how would you handle it? How would you want me to handle it? In situations that we were on a dedicated lane and something happened with the truck, I will try my best to recover that load. I have a lot of relationships, so I'm going to try to recover that load as much as I can. But dealing with a shipper and everything is really good. Finding dedicated lanes is very easy for me. That's something that is very easy for me to do. I can always find a driver a dedicated lane, but I always tell them, how dedicated are you to that lane? How dedicated can you be to that lane? Because if they're in a peak season and they need you and you want to go on vacation, they're going to just replace you. And if you make them angry enough, they're just going to blacklist you. I didn't see it happen. The driver wanted to go on vacation. The shipper said, no, we need you. Or you take 2 weeks off, or don't come back when you come. And shippers work together. A lot of shippers work together. So if they blacklist you from this company, they can blacklist you from that company. So you have to be very careful with shippers. Now, some are very understanding, especially if they know your work ethic. I'm not trying to scare you away from dedicated lanes. I have done dedicated lanes myself with just one truck. But everything matters. Your communication, how you running that truck when you picking up, making sure you're on time, making sure you're delivering on time, making sure your drivers are professional. All those things matter when you're doing business. But I don't want you to look at it and say, okay, I need a dedicated lane. If I just started my business, I need a dedicated lane to make money. Right now, the dedicated lanes, a lot of them, they're coming to the people that's on those dedicated lanes and they're saying, oh, we have to go $300 cheaper because the market is not paying this anymore. No, what is this lane paying? And we just got off a dedicated lane because they came back and told me that. No, that does not work for me. Now, if you say, hey, the shipping or something changes, it increases, so I'm going to have to take the rate. But the market rate has nothing to do with how much money do you have to move this freight. But since they know that they can get it done cheaper, they will. So I like spot freight. I like it more than having a dedicated lane. I like building relationships with multiple different brokers. So if you had to ask me, Destiny, which one should I do when I just get started? Low boy. Build some relationships. Don't just go jump out and get a shipper and you don't even know what you're doing. Work with a dispatcher or get your fill out some carrier packets and you pretty much dispatch yourself, but build up some relationship with these brokers so that you can know how things work, and then you go after your shipper. If you choose to go with your shipper in the beginning, make sure you're knowledgeable, because most shippers take 30 days to pay. So you may still need a factoring company unless you have a lot of money just sitting around you. If you do, just call me up. I need some of it. Comment below if you got the money, because I need some. Okay? But in all honesty, you can do both. You can have a broker that you're dedicated to 2 days a week or 3 days a week, and you can do spot freight. My words are not coming out right, okay? Spot freight for the rest of the week. Let me drink some. Since I had COVID, not COVID, I'm sorry. They said it was COVID. I don't think I had COVID. But since I had a symptom of COVID, my throat is just once it get dry, my words do not come out right, so I'm sorry. But you can do both of them. You can do the low boy, and you can work with a shipper or a broker to get dedicated freight. You can get dedicated freight from a broker. Yes, you can. Yes, they're going to take a piece of the pie. Okay, whatever. Just give them a piece of the pie. As long as you coming back home with the money that you want to come back home with, stop trying to X everybody out the picture. So you can be dedicated to a broker, let's just say 3 to 4 days of the week or 2 to 3 days of the week, and you can do spot freight the rest of the week. I have done it both ways. I didn't have a dedicated lane all week, and where they had to call me and say, okay, you can come in at this time. That's a headache. I'd rather deal with spot freight, because if I call on it, the driver picks it up. I'm not waiting all day to try to find work or see if they're going to call me for work. It all depends on how the system works. But for me, I tend to like spot freight a whole lot, more than I like dedicated lanes. Because when the market goes up, they're not taking those prices up. They're not. A lot of shippers, and I dealt with a lot of shippers, a lot of brokers. Once you're in a dedicated lane, you on there. So even if the market goes up for that lane, as they say, you know how they say when the market goes down, they have to pay you less, but when the market goes up, they don't pay you more. Something is wrong there. So make sure you consider all of those things when you're looking at the low board and when you're looking at dealing with a direct shipper or getting a dedicated link from a broker. Make sure you consider, do I really want this? What do I really want to do? Do I just want to be comfortable with picking up from A to B? If you want to be comfortable with picking up from A to B, then by all means get you a dedicated lane. Sometimes it takes that so you can have the experience that you want to have. So go ahead. Go ahead and do it. But for some people, running spot freight may be better.